Welcome to the deep dive. In today's digital world, we're just drowning in information, aren't we? Especially when trying to figure out what makes someone really stand out in design.
So many buzzwords.
Exactly. It's easy to get lost. So today, our mission is to cut through all that. We're doing a deep dive into the profile of Miles Hillier. He's a designer whose work seems to be this really powerful mix of creativity, smart thinking, and honestly, some serious tech skills.
Precisely. And for this deep dive, we're looking at his own stuff, his professional website, and a very detailed resume he has.
Right.
We're basically going to pull out the key bits of knowledge from these to understand, okay, what makes a designer with, over 15 years of experience tick? How is he so versatile and effective?
And maybe more importantly, what can you, listening right now, take away from his approach for your own work, even if you're not strictly in design?
Yeah, what are the lessons here about building an impactful career today?
Okay, so let's start with the basics. Who is Miles Hillier? What kind of designer are we talking about here?
Well, he describes himself first off by that experience, 15 plus years. And he lists UI, UX, web, product management, even front-end development, mentoring, building team relationships. It's quite a list.
That is a broad range. How does someone juggle all that? I mean, is he more of a generalist, or is there something deeper tying it all together?
That's a really good question. And I think his philosophy kind of answers it. He talks about using thoughtful and empathetic design to transform digital experiences. That's his core thing.
Okay.
He even calls himself a storyteller, someone who mixes the creative, the strategic, and the tech skills to go above and beyond. He really seems to believe that design is everywhere, and he loves finding it.
So it's less about just pushing pixels and more about the whole picture, the human side of tech.
Exactly. Which probably explains how he can span so many different roles effectively. It's that mindset.
And looking at his background, his education sort of points that way too, doesn't it? Utah Valley University, a BA in computer science.
Yeah.
But he mixed it with digital media and art classes.
Yeah, he intentionally built that hybrid foundation right from the start. It wasn't an accident.
Which makes sense given the roles he's had.
Absolutely. And that unique foundation, it really explains a lot about his professional impact later on. You see it clearly when you look at his work leading design systems.
Design systems. Okay, let's talk about that. At Heckscher, he was principal product designer, right?
Right. And he led the creation of a universal design system. Think about an insurance platform, probably lots of different parts, maybe built over time by different teams.
Yeah, potentially messy.
Potentially very messy. So this system aimed to bring consistency, scalable patterns across like 80% of their products. And crucially, it fixed problems left over from when maybe developers were making design choices without a central guide.
Okay, so he brought order to the chaos, essentially. Defining hierarchy for a firm management tool, unifying quoting tools. Those sound like big, complex undertakings.
Huge. Unifying quoting tools alone that probably saved massive amounts of time and reduced errors. And he didn't just do it at Heckscher. He consulted for Meltwater too, leading a Figma design system overhaul, coaching their team on how to make it scale across the whole organization.
Right.
And for you listening, this shows something important, I think. Building and implementing these systems, it's not just about making things look the same, it's strategic. It helps pay down technical debt, creates a single source of truth. It lets teams actually move faster and deliver something coherent.
So it's like being an architect for the organization's design process, not just a designer of screens.
That's a great way to put it, an organizational architect.
Okay, so that's the system side. But what about the direct impact on the user experience? Because that's where you often see the big business results, right?
Oh, definitely. And his work at Progressive Leasing is a fantastic example. He was a senior product designer there.
And he led the design of these smart universal application and authentication flows. What does that mean in practice?
It means simplifying how people apply for leases and how they log in across both the consumer side and the retail partner systems, making it smoother, faster, less confusing.
And the results, I remember seeing the numbers on his resume, and they were pretty staggering.
They really are. These improved flows directly boosted their annual gross merchandise volume, the total value of stuff sold by, get this, $35 million to $45 million.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And on top of that, they cut the time it takes to complete an application by 67%. 67, which naturally improved how many people finished the application and got approved.
That's incredible. You don't always see design linked that directly to such massive financial gains.
Not often, no. It really underscores the point. His work at Rentler and Imagine Learning also focused on UX improvements, but that progressive leasing example, it just shows how much well-designed, streamlined flows matter to the bottom line. It's clear ROI.
It really is.
Yeah.
But his impact isn't just within the digital product itself, is it? Looking through his profile, it seems like he gets that the experience starts way before someone even logs in. Starts with the brand.
Exactly. And this is where you see his entrepreneurial side come out. He actually co-founded a company called Spec Fashion.
Right, I saw that. An e-commerce and brand platform celebrating Islander artistry.
Yeah. And he wasn't just the design guy. He was involved in everything: product design, operations, marketing, partnerships, building the whole thing from the ground up.
That's a lot more than just UI work.
It really speaks to his holistic view, and you see it in his consulting, too. He advised Susie's Pantry on brand strategy, e-commerce stuff, growth. He worked with huge names like CVS and 1-800-Contacts on unifying their e-commerce integrations, making sure the brand felt consistent.
Because he believes every brand is an identity with a story.
Precisely. And for you listening, that's a key takeaway, isn't it? A strong brand builds trust, loyalty.
Yeah.
It's an emotional connection. It's not just the logo on the webpage.
It's the whole perception.
The whole thing. Thoughtful design touches every part of that customer journey.
Okay, so we've got design systems, UX driving massive ROI, strategic branding, entrepreneurial experience. What about the people side? Leadership, mentorship.
Yeah, that comes through too. His roles at Heckscher and Progressive involved mentoring designers, supporting the teams, even helping with restructure alignments.
So it's not just about his own output.
Definitely not. And the testimonials really back this up. Stacy Martinez, a UX designer, called him an invaluable mentor and a dear friend. That's quite personal.
That is.
And Amelia Soriano, a director of product, said he inspires people and teams to do their best work. That speaks volumes about his leadership style.
So leadership and mentoring are clearly part of how he scales his impact, right? Growing the talent around him.
Absolutely integral. You can't build great things alone, especially at scale.
Okay, so let's pull back a bit. What are the big aha moments here? The things that make Miles's approach maybe unique, or things that could shift how you think about design's impact?
Well, one thing that definitely jumps out is that entrepreneurial drive. Aaron Ellis over at Clickleys mentioned Miles bringing his entrepreneurial experience, that self-starter drive, along with his design skills to create successful experiences from scratch.
That ability to just build something out of nothing is pretty key.
It is. And related to that, maybe the most surprising aha for me was his sheer versatility, especially in startups. We often hear about hyper-specialization, right?
Managed down.
Right. But James Davis, CTO at Roster, said Miles handled all things designed for them when they were young: UI, UX, product, marketing stuff, sales assets, the website, even swag.
Yeah.
And importantly, he did great work.
Wow, so he was like a one-person design department covering everything.
Pretty much. And what that tells you, I think, is that in certain contexts, especially fast-moving startups, having someone who can be a true force multiplier across many areas, that can be way more valuable than a narrow specialist. Breadth plus depth.
That's a really interesting counterpoint to this specialization narrative. You also see this consistent theme of collaboration and dedication, don't you? Hector Carrillo called him very dedicated, someone who's honed in his craft, but also creative, collaborative, and a great contributor.
Yeah, the personal qualities seem just as important as the technical skills. And another critical balance he strikes, Amelia Soriano pointed this out, is putting the customer's experience first while reaching business goals and objectives.
That's the sweet spot, isn't it? Making something delightful and effective for the business.
It's the holy grail, really. And it's not always easy to achieve that balance.
And finally, it seems to come down to this blend of meticulousness and, well, just being a good person to work with. Stacy Martinez talked about his exceptional mix of talent, insightful thinking, and a warm and friendly personality. Amelia Soriano mentioned his attention to detail and care for his craft.
It's that whole package, isn't it? The hard skills, the strategic thinking, the soft skills, the collaborative spirit, and underlying it all, a real passion for design and discovery. That's what seems to make his approach so impactful.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive on Miles Hillier, what's the core takeaway?
I think it's that he really exemplifies what a modern, truly impactful designer can be. Someone who goes beyond just the interface to build robust systems, understands the strategic power of branding, has that entrepreneurial knack for building things, and fosters talent around them. It's that blend of technical chops, business sense, and genuine passion.
So here's a final thought to leave you with. We live in a world where pretty much every interaction we have is, in some way, a designed experience, right?
Uh-huh. Increasingly so.
So thinking about a multifaceted designer like Miles, how might understanding that kind of broad impact change how you approach solving problems or spotting opportunities? Not just if you're in design, but in whatever field you're in that touches users or customers. What unexpected skills or perspectives could you maybe cultivate to become more of a force multiplier yourself?
Yeah, how can you broaden your own impact? It's definitely something we're thinking about.